Okay, here we go. So, Nick, I am so thankful you brought me these wines, first
Sure.
of all.
Of course.
My request to Nick was to, have wines that really display red fruit, blue fruit, and black fruit really clearly.
Yeah.
And my specific question is about the fruits that I should think of when I think of each category
Great.
within red, blue, and black.
Perfect. So wines can be described in many ways. I would say, like, visually, we can describe the color in certain ways, and then aromatically and on the palate is where we get into the specific notes. The notes would often be like fruit-based and non-fruit-based, but for our conversation today, just focusing on fruit, red wines typically would be red, black, and blue fruit, versus white wines you'd think of more citrus fruit, stone fruit, tree fruit like pomaceous, and tropical fruit. So skipping those, just red, black, and blue fruit is what we're speaking to here. And really, it doesn't have to be a very narrow paradigm. It can be really anything you can think of, but just for the sake of not getting too complicated and fancy and saying things like salmonberry or evergreen huckleberry, I mean, those are relevant and can be correct, but for using kind of a unified language, we can just keep it to things that are common knowledge. Raspberry, strawberry, cherry, which is technically a stone fruit because it has a pit, but I would think of it as more of a red fruit. So raspberry, cherry, strawberry, pomegranate, cranberry, plum, those 6 would probably be in the red fruit category. When we talk about black fruits, that could be more blackberry, black plum, maybe black cherry, black currant, or cassis. And then blue fruits, there's not as many on the list. I would say blueberry is a big one, boysenberry. You could think of acai if you want to get really fancy. And oftentimes wines can have a single focused color of fruits, or it can have multiple. If we're looking at something like Grenache or Pinot Noir, these are going to give off notes of red fruits. I would say strawberry is the main thing to look for with a Grenache. With Pinot Noir, it's more cherry. And those are subjective, and it's not right or wrong, but over the time of practicing with many, many wines, it tends to be a pattern that whether it's California Grenache, Australia Grenache, or French Grenache, seeing strawberry is a through line. Same thing with Pinot Noir, whether it's from France, South Africa in this case, California, Oregon, New Zealand, Australia, cherry is a leading fruit. But then you are not wrong if you want to put in other fruits too. It's not like binary right or wrong. It's more of a pattern. When we're talking about black fruits, we can put Cabernet Sauvignon and Shiraz kind of in the mostly black fruit category. Blackberry is going to be a big thing for both. I would say with Cabernet Sauvignon, it's classic to think of black currant or cassis as a big thing. Maybe some black plum on the Syrah category. So they can have red fruits, but usually it's mostly black. There can be blue fruits going on here, but we're just going for kind of majority one direction. And then there aren't too many wines that are majority blue fruit. We often find some blue fruit with Merlot. In this case, it's a Saint-Emilion from France. I would say it's kind of red plus blue is the combo. With the Zinfandel, it's a little bit tricky. It's red, black, and blue all together, but blue tends to be a forward thinker from my point of view. So we'll get blueberry, we'll get strawberry, we'll get blackberry kind of all together. And Zinfandel's got this whole kind of mix of different colors. Again, it's not a right or wrong. If you don't get blueberry and you get something else, that's okay too. But we do establish these patterns over time. And then if you taste a non-classic variety, let's say it's a Schioppettino from northern Italy, or it's an Iorizzico from Greece, or it's a Negrette from southern France. We can use the vocabulary and paradigm of these classic grapes and then apply them to less familiar grapes to draw connections and conclusions.
Cool. I can't wait to try these awesome wines.
Yeah, looking forward to it.